Hey there, I'm Hendrik and today I want to show you how I dress for ski touring. Let's go! If I go ski touring, I use the same onion layering dressing technique as I also do if I go hiking, backpacking or any other outdoor activity. That means I have several layers on and I can put more on or take layers off depending on how I feel and what the weather is like. This has the benefit that you can adapt the system depending on the weather and also on how fast or slow you go and how warm or cold you are. So if you're cold, you put more layers on. If you're too hot, you take layers off or open zippers and stuff like that. As usual, the most important thing is to be really diligent in taking layers off and putting layers on as soon as you start to feel cold or you start to run hot. There's no benefit in like sweating everything super wet if it's a really warm day and you're going up a steep mountain. That doesn't help you because you will be freezing faster. So as soon as you feel like it's getting really hot, take a couple of layers off or open the zippers and see if that helps, and if not, really make a short break, take one layer off and continue. In the same way, if you start to feel cold, close all the zips. If that doesn't help, stop and put another layer on. Ski touring in winter is a very strenuous activity, so you are usually running really hot. That's why I adapted my clothing system to be really thin layers, but that they added up together are very warm if it's like not as warm day as right now. If you are sweating less or you are easily cold, then it is a lot better that you use thicker garments as your base layers and mid layers, and that way you're not freezing that much. But I am somebody that sweats a lot, that is very quickly warm, so that's why I chose to wear very thin layers and a couple of these. But that is enough talking. Let me show you what I am wearing. Alright, kicking things off with the base layer. So over here you can see I have a merino long sleeve and I also have a merino 3/4 pants. That's because I have compression socks on and I don't want a long underwear, which means it would be overlapping inside of the boot, and that way these are like keeping everything nicely warm, but there's no overlap, and then there's also no rubbing of the fabrics against each other, which would probably give you blisters. So underneath over here there is also merino underwear. This is not sponsored, by the way. I have bought these things mostly by myself or got them for other cooperations. So this is my first layer. If we are not talking about the socks and underwear, this is the base layer. Next up, I always wear one layer of fleece. So next up, always one layer of fleece. This is a very thin Arc'teryx Conceal hoodie or something like that. I have this since 6 or 7 years. It's a fantastic piece. It's super durable. It's very thin, but it keeps me very nice warm. It gives me a really good base warmth. In addition, I also have these merino underwear from Northern Playground, which I could wear over these two if it is a really cold day, or for example, because it's very easy to put these on when you're on a mountain, that you are just like zipping them on. You don't need to take your pants off or anything. So if you're going up and you're really warm and then you're starting to get cold, then up on a mountain you can put these up and then you're comfortable again. Next up is already the shell, and I am wearing over here an Houdini roller coaster bib. It's a super nice pants. I'm also using this now since 3 years, and the benefit of this is that, in my opinion, your ass and lower back is protected from snow. So if you're falling into the snow, then you're not getting snow inside of your pants. So that's why I really like Bibs. These are also really cool because, as you can see over here, they have these zippers that are going really far ahead. So you even could go to the toilet in them without needing to take them off. And if you're getting cold, you just close the zip and then you're warm. So with the bib on, I put on another fleece layer. I have this Norona fleece vest. I think it's a Lungen or something like that. That is very nice and fluffy from the inside, and it keeps my core nicely warm. It also has like 3 pockets, and in these pockets I always carry 1 pair of tin spare gloves. These are the absolute emergency gloves. I have another warm pair of gloves in here, and I wear a normal pair of gloves when I go skiing up and downhill. With this vest I keep my core warm. It has been working really well for me from -18 to +5 or 10 degrees. And if it gets too warm, it's very easy to take it off. And that brings us to the final shell layer. Here I also have a Houdini roller coaster jacket. It has this very nice snow fang over here. That means again that if I would fall into the snow, then the snow doesn't come over here and wets everything. It's again a jacket that has really great flexibility and gives me freedom of movement, which is something that I really appreciate. And it has 2 really big chest pockets. In one I usually keep another camera close by, and in the other I can have snacks or the map. Well, then we still need a warm beanie. This is a nice colorful merino beanie. Then sunglasses depending on the weather, or goggles if you go downhill. And then the really essential and warm gloves. These are Hestra gloves. I think it's something like Army 3-finger gloves, and I've been using these also since 4 or 5 years, and they're absolutely fantastic. They're super warm and very comfortable, and you still have a really good dexterity with them. One more thing, I also always have a buff, so like a tube shawl that I have inside of the backpack in case it gets really cold and windy, that I can put it on and protect my face from the wind. Or if I'm starting to get cold on my throat, and I throw this on and I am warm. Another thing is the beacon. The beacon I wear on top of my vest so that it is right underneath my shell jacket. So if I need it, that I am easily able to access it and can start searching somebody, and in the same time also can be easily found, that it is in a good location that is hopefully not too deep under the snow. I carry my cell phone in my leg pocket if I'm not having it in the backpack, and if it is in the leg pocket, then it is around 30 to 40 centimeters away from the avalanche beacon, which is the recommended distance for it. Now, that's not everything actually that I have in my backpack. You already saw I had the extra bottom layer that I can put on if it's getting cooler, and I also always have one very warm down jacket with me. This is essential for breaks, or if it's getting ridiculously cold. If you go downhill, then you just throw this over and then you are nice and warm again. I think you always should have a really warm puffy jacket inside of your backpack when you go ski touring. You never know what could happen, and you always want to be on the safe side and not freeze. In addition to this puffy jacket, there are also the puffy gloves that I already mentioned. These are also Hestra synthetic gloves. I'm a really big fan of Hestra gloves. I think they have a really good fit, and they are a Swedish brand, so it's close to my heart living over here in the north. Well, and that's it. Now you know how I dress for ski touring. Of course, there's the boots that I already mentioned that you need together with the skis and the poles, and then you are on your way up the unexplored mountains, and then you can draw the lines into the fresh snow and being the first of it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then leave a thumbs up, as it really makes a difference. If you got questions, leave them in the comments, and remember, life is always better outside. See you in the next one.